The Colorado River, which allows the desert to sustain itself and powers millions of American homes, is currently engaged in the fight of its life. The rapidly sinking river, victim of a nearly 23-year-long megadrought, stretches 1,450 miles, snaking its way from Colorado through Arizona, Nevada, and California, and finally into Mexico, where it should theoretically dump out into the Sea of Cortez. But the water rarely gets that far, thanks to a series of dams and agricultural canals that have devastated the natural river as well as the Mexican communities that once depended on it. In the U.S., meanwhile, 40 million Americans rely on the river as a source of water and power, without many viable alternatives. This crisis has made clear the fragility of water resources in the Southwest, but it has also demonstrated that hydropower cannot be the reliable clean energy solution that many would like to write it off as. Throughout the U.S., drought, extreme heat, flooding, and many other factors are complicating efforts to use green power methods. Our clean energy sources have to adapt to climate change even as we hope they might help us avert its worst effects. More stable sources are increasingly urgent. America's two largest dams by volume are both situated along the Colorado River. The Hoover Dam at Lake Mead and the Glen Canyon Dam at Lake Powell provide power for approximately 4 million Americans in the 7 basin states. Dams have what is called a dead pool level, which is the depth at which water will no longer flow downstream through the dam and provide power. It is essentially the point at which drought will render a hydropower plant useless. The Hoover and Glen Canyon dams are both owned and operated by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, and they have been in operation since 1936 and 1966, respectively. The merits and ethics of hydropower are hotly debated. While dams can create a large amount of energy without relying on fossil fuels, they also damage ecosystems and often significantly reduce the biodiversity of the body of water on which they sit. Dams also tend to be built on Native American land, and indigenous communities disproportionately shoulder the negative effects of these structures. Despite these concerns, hydropower makes up almost 1/3 of renewable energy production in America, and for more than 4 million people, the health of the Colorado River dams are a direct link to their energy security. Lake Mead currently sits only 52 feet above its dead pool level, meaning the Hoover Dam is on the edge of becoming a relic of a time when water was a reliable energy resource. Lake Powell, meanwhile, is just 154 feet away from a potential energy crisis. Projections for when these dams will hit dead pool, barring significant changes to water usage and drought conditions, are far from comforting. A prediction by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation shows that we likely have until about 2025.